This is the story of the great split within Islam, of how this split arose from a dispute of who should succeed the Prophet Muhammad. This is the story of the Caliph. Al-Humayma, southern Jordan. In the 8th century, it was a settlement of one of the two major branches of the Hashemites, the Prophet's own family of the Quraysh tribe. Known as the Abbassids, these were descendants of Al-Abbas, one of Muhammad's uncles. The other branch were the Alids, descended from Ali, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law. In 716, Abdullah, one of the Alids, arrived in Al-Humayma with a strange story.
أحد أحفاد علي بن أبي طالب مر على الخليفة الأموي سليمان بن عبد الملك فقدم له الهدايا، وفي عودته إلى المدينة المنورة شعر بألم ومرض، فقال له من معه: سممك سليمان.
Abdullah died in Al-Humayma, but in his final hours he confessed to his Abbasid cousin Muhammad that he was the head of a plot to topple the Umayyads.
أعطاه أسماء الدعاة والتنظيم الحزبي الذي يعمل له، وهكذا انتقلت قيادة التنظيم من الهاشميين الذين ينتسبون لعلي بن أبي طالب إلى العباسيين.
هم لم يعلنوا بأننا نريد الخلافة لنا، وإنما للرضا من آل محمد. كان شعارهم في البداية للرضا من آل محمد.
Over the next 30 years, this message persuaded many Alid Shias to join the Abbasid cause. In 746, this secret movement turned into full-blown revolution in the eastern part of the Islamic Empire, in what is today the Shia state of Iran.
It's very, very hard to say whether the Abbasids used the Alids. They certainly wanted to accrue as wide a support base as they possibly could. And they certainly wanted those who supported an Alid Caliph to join their movement.
Within 3 years, the Abbasids had captured Kufa, the caliphal capital of Ali. It was in this mosque that the name and identity of the Caliph-in-waiting were finally revealed.
They proclaimed a man as Caliph called Abu al-Abbas as-Safah, and he was a descendant of one of the Prophet Muhammad's uncles, and he based his claim to the caliphate on that kinship with the Prophet Muhammad.
In 750, the Abbasids entered Damascus, capital of the mighty Umayyad state, the largest empire yet known. But in the years to come, they would struggle to maintain the unity of the vast state they now controlled. By the mid-8th century, the Abbasids had seized control of the Caliphate, but did little for their cousins. A sense of betrayal took hold and fermented among the Alids. In a bold and dangerous move, they declared a rival caliphate in Medina. An Abbasid army was rushed to the city. It ruthlessly crushed their rebellion.
عندما استتبت الأمور للعباسيين لوعد أن الظلمات التي أصابت أهل البيت قد لا تكون أقل من الظلمات التي أصابت الشيعة في العهد الأموي نفسه.
The Sunni Abbassids consolidated their dominance of the center of the state from their newly built capital, Baghdad. But they had failed to exert the same control over the provinces of the far west. In 756, an Umayyad fugitive prince called Abd al-Rahman reached Andalusia. Only 6 years after the collapse of his grandfather's caliphate, he succeeded in reviving the Umayyad dynasty with Cordoba as its capital.
عندما خرج الأمويون أو عاد الأمويون أو استنجد الأمويون بالأندلس بعد سقوط خلافتهم في دمشق، كان طبيعي جدا أن يعودوا إلى الأصل، أي أن ما وقع هو اغتصاب للخلافة، وأن العباسيين هم مغتصبو الخلافة، ونحن سنصحح هذا الوضع هذه المرة انطلاقا من أقصى نقطة في العالم الإسلامي، في الغرب الإسلامي وبالضبط في الأندلس.
The Umayyad Emirate in Andalusia was the first to break from the Caliphate. But it would not be the last. Soon, another state at the western edge of the Muslim world, in the Maghreb, would break away from the Abbassids. And this time, it would be their own cousins, the Alids.
بدأت تتكون قناعة لدى الأسرة العلوية أنه لا يمكن إقامة مشروع مستقل عن هيمنة المشرق إلا بعيدا عن المركز، بعيدا عن العاصمة، وبالضبط في الأطراف حيث لا تستطيع الخلافة أو لا يستطيع الخليفة أن يصل وأن تطالها يده لإجهاض هذا المشروع.
In 788, Idris, an Alid fugitive, arrived here in the Moroccan city of Moulay Idris Zerhoun, a city that now carries his name. Recognizing him as a descendant of the Prophet, local Berber tribes were quick to offer him their oath of allegiance as ruler of the region. And so was born the Idrisid Emirate, the first independent Alid state.
إدريس حمل مشروع دولة يمكن أن تضاهي أو توازي أو تنافس سلطة المشرق، سلطة الخلافة في المشرق. وهذا هو ما يفسر كيف أن الخلافة العباسية شعرت بقلق شديد عندما علمت بأمر بروز دولة علوية في أقصى نقطة من العالم الإسلامي آنذاك، اللي هي بلاد المغرب.
But with the new and expanding state, just 3 years old, Idris died. He was laid to rest here, in the city that still bears his name. Idris had allegedly been poisoned on the orders of Harun al-Rashid, the most famous of the Abbasid caliphs. the statue of Shahrayar and Shahrazad in Baghdad. The two main characters of 1001 Nights. Legendary stories inspired by the opulence of Harun al-Rashid's court. The golden age of the Abbasid Caliphate.
بغداد أصبحت مدينة الدنيا، لأنه هذه المدينة لا يأتيها الفلاح ولا يأتيها العامل فقط، فبغداد تجمع بها كل علماء العالم وكل مثقفي العالم وكل أدباء العالم وكل نقاشي العالم وكل مهندسي العالم وكل أطباء العالم، ولذلك صارت مدينة للعلماء.
Under al-Rashid, scholars began the great task of transcribing and translating the cultural and scientific works of former civilizations. Encouraged and supported by the Abbasid caliphs, Muslims began adding their own scholarship to this stock of human knowledge, laying the groundwork for Europe's Renaissance in centuries to come.
Ibn Sina, or the West knows as Avicenna, had written not only philosophical texts, but also a very important treatise on medicine. It was translated into Latin, became the standard textbook for European medical schools for centuries.
But the golden age of the Abbasids was destined to be short-lived. In 836, the 8th Abbasid Caliph, Al-Mu'tasim, moved his capital here, to Samarra in Iraq. It was also to be a military base for the Caliph's new army, an army of Turkic mercenaries, toughened by life on the steppes of Central Asia. An army that would soon erode the power of the Caliphs.
بدأ العنصر العربي يبتعد شيئا فشيئا عن مصائر الأمور في الدولة العباسية، حيث أكثر المعتصم من الأتراك وأصبح هم أصحاب النفوذ الحقيقي.
In 847, here in Samarra, Turkic army commanders installed Al-Mutawakkil as the 10th Abbasid Caliph. And for a century to come, they would effectively rule the Caliphate, appointing, deposing, torturing, and even killing a string of 12 caliphs who were little more than puppets.
ولم يبقى للخليفة يعني إلا الصفة الاسمية والشرعية، حتى كان يقال خليفة في قفص بين وصيف وبغى يقول لهما كما تقول الببغاء.
The caliphate clearly had become a symbol and had no effective power anymore. And in the Muslim world we had a multitude of different political regimes in the various parts, reaching from what is today Spain to the sub-Asian continent. Often this period is seen as a period of decline because of these political divisions.
But it wasn't just a matter of the slow fracturing of the state. At its western edge, a new threat was on the rise. Mahdiyya, this small town on the Tunisian coast, would soon emerge as the seat of a rival caliphate. And this new caliph would not be Sunni, but Shia.